In a world where ideas collide, where real leaders share their journeys, and strategies are forged in the fires of experience. Welcome to the Leadership Exchange with Akbar Jaffer, a fractional chief marketing officer from the fintech streets of New York City to the innovative tech scene of San Francisco, manufacturing hub of Phoenix, and the vibrant cultures of Riyadh and Dubai. We bring you stories that shape the future of business. Join us as we dive deep into the minds of trailblazers. Discover insights that can transform your leadership journey. Don't miss out on the exchange of ideas. Tune in now and be part of the conversations that scale your business.
Hello and welcome to Business Leadership Exchange from Marketing QA. My name is Akbar Jaffer and I'm a B2B fractional CMO. This morning, I have with me Bhaskar Kende, co-founder and chief technology officer of Prana Life Sciences, a global technology consulting company serving the life sciences industry. Hey, Bhaskar, and welcome. So good to see you.
Good morning, Akbar. Thank you for having me.
Good morning. Okay, so we have been wanting to do this conversation for a while. I'm glad we were able to find this time on Sunday morning. So let's get started. My audience and I want to know, two things about the company right off the bat. Number one, the name Prana. If you can share some thoughts and some meaning behind the word Prana.
Certainly, Akbar. Prana in Indian languages, it means the life force that, or the energy that holds the life together. When we started this company, we knew we were going to serve the life sciences industry, and we wanted to be that energy, elevates everybody's life by bringing that energy in. That was the thought process. We started with this Prana Life Sciences, which literally means now the energy or the force that holds the life sciences or elevates it.
That's brilliant. I love it. So that nicely dovetails into my next question. So how did the Prana Life Sciences come about?
That's a very good question, Akbar. We know that recently we have all gone through the pandemic. And way before pandemic, Giri and myself, when we were thinking of starting this company, we were observing some repetitive problems, challenges with the small companies, medium-sized companies, large life sciences companies. These problems were not isolated ones. We saw many customers or many companies facing similar problems, whether it is a lot of manual processes which were taking longer time, whether it is getting ready in time for some of the regulatory inspections or regulatory documentation, finishing the documentations related to clinical studies on time. A number of such examples I can give. But we could see those problems and everywhere, and we started listing down, thinking such issues that how can we help solve these problems. And then we started building the solutions. Then we realized that this is a much larger initiative that can become as a business opportunity, and that's how we got started. And here we are after 5 years. Now we are celebrating 5 years, and we are excited about it.
Well, congratulations on the 5-year anniversary. I know it's very exciting. I really wanted to know, so there are a number of consulting companies out there in the life sciences space. How is Prana different from the other consulting companies?
So that's a very good question, Akbar. There are tremendous work happening in the life sciences industry. Pharma companies, medical devices companies, labs, biotech companies, researchers, they are doing humongous work, and also the technology companies, consulting companies as well. What sets us different is marrying the technology aspect and the domain expertise aspects together. There are a lot of consulting companies, technology consulting companies, doing great job. But what we found was it would be better if they had a little more domain expertise. What we are trying to do at Prana is marrying this domain expertise and technology expertise together. And when we marry that, we are seeing great solutions coming out. And we call it as business accelerators. We call it as products, which are helping solve those problems that I talked earlier, those repetitive problems everywhere in the industry. Automate solutions, build efficiencies, and ultimately bring the products earlier to the market for our customers. So I would think that marriage is the one that differentiates us from other IT consulting companies.
I think that's really the key point, and I've seen this in my professional career of implementing CRM systems is that you have the technology people who are very good at implementing CRM, but they're disconnected from the business knowledge and the business use cases. So this is really a true differentiator. I agree. So let's talk about your role at the company as a co-founder, but most importantly as the chief technology officer. What are your key areas of innovation that you are leading your company with today?
Absolutely, that's so exciting area, Akbar. Our company, you know that we are very focused on automating some of these manual, repetitive processes. That's the first thing that we wanted to get rid of. Using the human capital on doing the repetitive things. So we have these process automation solutions so that human intelligence can be used, the expertise that the human brings, that those can be used in more meaningful activities. We have built a lot of tools, business accelerators. Let's take example of our Migrate Pro, for example. I have seen in my life the teams, especially the business analysts, spending a lot of time and creating something called as mapping specification, where they have to map the fields, objects, various entities from one system, legacy systems, to the new systems, IT systems that these companies are bringing in place. Given the advancement in the using the AI now, those kinds of activities can be easily automated. The efficiency can be built, the time can be brought down from months to the days. That is our one focus area. The other focus area that we have is the regulatory compliances. FDA is coming up with very innovative, great support and guidance about how to use the artificial intelligence, how to use AI, how to use cloud and be compliant. But then companies are a little bit, it needs clarity. The industry needs clarity. Some companies are doing amazing work, but there are a lot of companies who need help on this. So how do we find that middle ground where the quality leads and the system owners are comfortable with these new technologies, and they can still face the auditors and inspectors confidently. So that is our second area of focus, where we are helping our clients. There are other areas where, for example, how can we bring down the clinical study life cycle? How can we shorten that so that the products can be brought to the end customers faster? We have many more such automation solutions, may it be regulatory side of it, pharmacovigilance, which is the safety side. Then we have more on the quality, more on the research side, R&D, lab, supply chain, many different areas where we are improving, where we are building these solutions. That's a highlight of our focus areas, technology. In my group at Prana Life Sciences, that's our technology innovation focus.
That's really fantastic. So it seems to me that Prana is not only uniquely a technology-enabled consulting company, but it's also a product company, which is really unique for the consulting company. So let's talk about a little bit on the management side, because you have a dual role as a co-founder as well as a CTO. So as a leader of this organization, what is your Zen? What is your management philosophy?
That's a very good question, Akbar. One of the things that keeps us excited, right? I would say for management, we have three different areas or aspects which excites us, and that is the crux of our, or you can say Zen. The number one is our customers, our clients. These are the pharma companies, biotech companies, medical device companies, labs. So when they work with us, we want to make sure that they should get their problems are solved, and they should get what they were looking from us, and they should they should enjoy working with us and on their project because of our presence there. So helping our customers, that's our first aspect. Second, this great work that is being done at Prana, is by with our colleagues and our associates. Not only solving the problems for our clients, but how the life of our employees and associates should become better. They should learn new things all the time. They should feel that they are being valued. They are growing in every aspect of the life. So because ours is a very, if you still say, very very vibrant small company, it's kind of a family. We know each other very well, all colleagues, and standing for each other, making sure when somebody working on some project, they should know we have their backs covered. Standing for each other, helping each other, growing together, and elevating life of our own associates as well. That's the second aspect. And third aspect of our this focus area that you asked is end customers, those patients all over the world who are waiting for some new medical device for their surgeries or new treatment for their diseases. So, and getting rid of their pain, right? So those end customers, what we think is, what if we bring the medicine to them, and maybe possible bring that medicine to them a few years earlier, a few months earlier. Such a great joy it is to see that for somebody suffering in, we are bringing must needed the medical solutions to them, the drugs to them earlier, so that they can have better life. That is such a joy. And that's, I think, that's what keeps us going, that keeps us excited, and that keeps us motivated. I think there is no more motivation than that. When we see, sometimes we see these videos, some patients having some suffering for years, and all of a sudden when they get this drug or this medical device, and all of a sudden their life is different. We see that smile on their faces. That's the greatest motivation in our life, Akbar, for all of us.
That is really brilliant, Bhaskar, because it seems to me like your Zen is really defined in your tagline, right? Which is elevate life, right? And we're elevating life of your clients, of your employees, and your patients. This is just fantastic. So I have to ask you this, right? Because we're all technologists and we're all business leaders. Is what is your vision for the future for the life sciences industry? Where do you think we will be in 10 years?
That's a loaded question, I would say. Say we all are thinking about it, right? But in my limited knowledge, what I think, Akbar, is there are so many areas in life sciences industry which are not explored enough. There have been lots of tremendous efforts, but with this change in technology now, artificial intelligence, cloud, and automation, this artificial intelligence usage has changed the landscape forever now. And it is going to transform our life sciences industry as well. So what I see is the transformations are going to happen. There are areas which were not explored. We are going to explore those. And what our effort is, be the first one to innovate in some of those areas and guide others in our colleagues in that process to make their decisions simpler, to help them with the data, to help them with the processes, ensure that they are compliant, and still they can use the most advanced automation and artificial intelligence tools and technologies. And in next 10 years, when we look at it, we see that some of the innovations that are going to happen, they will bring solutions to the life. It is unbelievable, whether it is the surgical instruments or whether it is biotech solutions, whether it is these clinical trials that are running. Everything is going to change. We will see much more automation in there. We will see drugs coming faster to the market. We'll see compliant processes. We can track everything. Today, if you have to track something down to the lowest level data, in the past it used to be a big challenge, but now with the new technology it will become so easier, which means compliance is becoming easier. I see completely new horizon, a lot of new opportunities opening with this new technology. In 10 years, we will make the progress that we might not have made in last 100 years, Akbar. I mean, it's not too much if you look at the changes that are happening. And we are so fortunate, our generation is so fortunate that we are going to witness these changes, and not only witness, but contribute to this in a positive way.
But this is really amazing because you talk about us being fortunate enough, right? We're the generations who saw the advent of computers, and then we went through computers and the internet and the cloud, and now we're looking at the artificial intelligence, and not too far in the future we will have the hypercomputers and then the quantum computer. So we're just like barely scratching the surface. So that's really brilliant. So Bhaskar, how can people find you?
It is easy to find us, Akbar, on LinkedIn, or we can just go to our website, pranalifesciences.com.
That's fantastic. I really appreciate you taking the time, and thank you so much.
Oh, thank you for having me, Akbar. It was fantastic talking to you. Have a wonderful rest of the day.